'Cause all that I ever do is trying to get over you. I know, I gotta let you go. And all
Hi, my name is Diana. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a how to be a ski girly video. I've been doing snow sports, mostly snowboarding. I don't actually ski for the past, I think 20 years ago. I started in my 20s. So yeah, I've been skiing or snowboarding, I should say, for about 20 years now. I would say intermediate level. I am okay. I can get down that mountain pretty well without falling. Today I'm just going to share all of my favorite ski and snowboarding items that you'll need to go on your ski or snowboarding trip. If you're new to snow sports like skiing and snowboarding, you'll definitely want to watch this video because I'm going to go over how to select the items that you're going to need and exactly what you're going to need because you don't want to be freezing or wet crying on that mountain. You'll want to be prepared when you hit those slopes. Everything I'm sharing in this video is linked down below in the description box. If you want to see where I'm going snowboarding this year, definitely follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. I'll be sharing some of that footage and what I'm wearing on the slopes this year. The first thing you're going to need is a good base layer. This is so important. It'll keep you so nice, toasty, warm, and dry. Don't just wear anything like thermals or, anything cotton specifically that's not made to breathe and wick sweat, because you will sweat even though it's cold outside, you're doing a physical activity. You want the fabric of the base layer to keep you warm and wick away sweat and be breathable. Of course, the most generic base layer set is black, but they come in fun colors too. I've linked some fun options down below. I have several sets of these. A lot of times I'll just wear the same outer shell and change the set on the inside. They also come in various thicknesses and warmths. So the colder it is, obviously, I would choose a thicker, warmer base layer than a hotter or warmer day. I would choose a thinner base layer. This one in particular is sort of a medium weight. The most affordable places to buy your base layer are Costco and Amazon and Uniqlo. I have these from Amazon. This is a thicker base layer. I think these are actually winter running pants. As you can see, the inside is a fleece. Nice soft fleece. I tend to wear these when it's really, really cold outside. Amazon is a great option if you are on a budget, and I've linked these down below. Under Armour was the original place I used to buy my base layer back before Amazon really even sold clothes. This top, I think, is 15 or 20 years old. It's one of my original base layer pieces. It is very, very thick and stretchy. It's still in great condition. It's just a little bit worn at the collar, but overall, it's held up really nicely. It's still really, really form-fitted on me, and it wicks sweat, keeps me warm, all that. So Under Armour is a great brand if you can afford it. Uniqlo is another great option for base layer. They make something called Heat Tech. If you're not familiar with it, it's more of a thermal layer to wear just generally in the wintertime, but I've used this as a base layer and it works really well, especially on days that are not quite as cold. So this is really thin. Uniqlo is really, really thin, but it's breathable because it's kind of like a technical fabric. And yeah, it's thinner, so I tend to wear it when I have a more form-fitting outer layer that needs a thinner base layer, also when it's really warm outside. But Uniqlo is really affordable. I think each piece was maybe $10 to $20, I believe, from what I recall. I may have gotten some pieces on sale. Merino wool is actually a great fabric for base layer because it moisture wicks, it keeps you warm, and it's deodorizing. But if you can't find merino wool, any of those technical fabrics I showed you will work too because they do the same thing. What to avoid when wearing your base layer is any cotton, any cotton fabric or any synthetic that's not a technical fabric, because it will hold heat in and not wick that moisture off of your body. And that's what makes you cold. The sweat you're producing then just makes you cold and clammy, and that's not very comfortable on slopes. Next, we have socks. Definitely, this is so important. Definitely don't wear cotton socks. Just like the base layer, you need a technical fabric sock. Again, merino wool socks are the most popular for skiing and snowboarding, but we've had so much innovation in fabrics that you can buy non-merino wool socks now that are of a technical knit or fabric that are just as good. I have several pairs of ski snowboarding socks, and they range in brand. Some of them are merino wool and some of them are not. I do find though that my merino wool socks tend to be thinner but keep me just as warm as a really thick synthetic sock. But that's just personal preference, and that actually comes down to how you want your boot to fit. I would suggest buying socks of different thicknesses, so whatever fits more comfortable in your boot will be the one you wear. I also really love wearing ski socks just in the wintertime because they keep your feet warm and dry. My feet are always cold, so they are just great all-purpose socks. Smart Wool, Barton, those are great brands for ski socks, but there's a bunch from Amazon as well that don't really have a brand name and they work just as well. Next, let's talk about mittens. I am Camp Mitten. Some people are Camp Gloves. I personally love mittens because they keep all your fingers together, which tends to make it warmer. And they come with liner gloves. Usually, I don't know about now, but when I first bought my mittens, the liner gloves didn't have the E-tips, so I would just buy another pair of gloves and put them into the mitten instead of the ones that came with them. But I would highly recommend you splurge on your mittens and get the Gore-Tex ones. Don't waste your money on the cheap ones that say they are waterproof. I've not had another pair. I've tried different brands of gloves and mittens before, and none of them are waterproof. You need to get the Gore-Tex ones. I have these exact ones linked down below in the description box. And for the liner gloves, you can really get anything that's just a thin glove. Get them at Costco. I have them from, these are from Burton. I have the pair from North Face, and I have a Costco pair, and I have a pair from Amazon. They literally all work the same. Just get the ones that have the E-tip so you can use your phone on the slopes because that's what's most important, right? So any of these thin ones are going to work. If you're getting them on Amazon, they're not called liner gloves. I get the winter running gloves. Those are perfect to slip under the mittens, the Gore-Tex mittens. I also love these mittens because they have a little pocket where you can slip a hot hands pouch into so it keeps your hands extra warm. I'm just somebody that always has cold hands and cold feet, so therefore I like these extremity body parts to always be warm. Okay, now that we're done with the inner wear, let's talk about the outerwear, what everybody will see you actually wearing. So that's the ski jacket, ski pants, and the ski suit, or the ski suit, I should say. So there's really some very important things to look for when you are shopping for a ski jacket, ski pants, or ski suit. This is the number one thing I look for when shopping for ski outerwear, pants, jackets, or ski suits. And that is the waterproofing rating. Yes, any good ski item will have a waterproofing rating for any of the outerwear. If you don't have that rating, I would stay away from that item. I know Target sells ski clothes, but theirs are not rated. Theirs don't have any kind of rating, so I will not buy them. This is because those are mostly water resistant and not actually waterproof. I live on the East Coast, so we're mostly skiing, snowboarding in ice or slush, and it tends to be very, very wet because we live in a wet, humid climate. And therefore, I need the waterproofing so that my inner layers don't get wet. And that kind of like water resistant stuff is just not going to cut it. Waterproofing rating is expressed in thousands. So you have 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. The higher the number, the more waterproof it is, and the more expensive that item will be. I usually look for something above 10K. And I do own items up to 20K, and I find 20K to be completely waterproof. It could be raining and it will just bead and roll off. I've sat in rain for like hours before in one of my 20K jackets from Oakley, and this jacket was like, 10, 15 years old at this point, and the water just rolled right off. The next thing to look for is if the outerwear is insulated or not, or otherwise known as a shell. So shells are not insulated, meaning they are just there to protect you against wind and water and wetness. But you're gonna have to wear more insulation layers underneath of it to keep you warm. So more layers than just the base layer. So you're gonna need a sweater, a sweatshirt, or something underneath of it. Most of the items I've bought in the past have been insulated. Once they're insulated, that means they have some sort of like padding or filler. So it will keep you warm and you don't need that extra mid layer maybe. So now that we've talked about all that good technical stuff on what to look for in outerwear, let's get into it with this red ski suit. This is one of my favorite things to wear skiing, snowboarding, but I will tell you it is not the best thing to wear. I bought this. It is 10K waterproofing, which is why I ended up buying it because that was my minimum. It is mostly waterproof. As you can see, the fabric is kind of almost like a neoprene, but a little bit more crunchy and thicker and smoother, not as stretchy. It is very, very slightly stretchy. It It is a full ski suit. I really like it, but as a snowboarder, it is really hard to get up and down when from a sitting position in this suit. You have to be a little bit more flexible because as a snowboarder, we sit to put our bindings in and then we stand up and snowboard down. So the inconveniences of a ski suit are that when you go to the bathroom, it's really difficult to get this top part off without it touching the bathroom floor. One of the solutions is just to take the whole thing off, wear your base layer to the bathroom. Not everybody wants to do that, but it's really up to you. I would say this is probably more inconvenient than just having a ski jacket and pants set. Of course, it is really, really, really cute. You might want to get a ski suit just to lounge around it and walk around and in the snow and stuff because it is waterproof. This is perfect for just like snowmobiling or any other snow activities. It's not the best for snowboarding and skiing, although I do snowboard in this and I've not had any problems. Also, the newer you are at skiing and snowboarding, the more you want to be comfortable and the higher rating of waterproofing you'll want in your outerwear because you will be falling more and you will be more likely to get wet. Just as an example, as a snowboarder, you're going to be sitting on your ass a lot. I'm talking a lot. Between the falling and just the resting and getting up and stuff, your butt's going to be wet. So you're going to want your lower bottom to be whatever bottom you're wearing to be very, very waterproof. And this is probably not a good idea because it will make getting up more difficult. If you're a newbie, I would recommend getting a jacket and pants versus the ski suit. If you are a, great snowboarder, great skier, ski suit all the way because you're not going to fall and it doesn't matter. I will say, while this is not the most waterproof piece of outerwear I have, I did wear this into a waterfall that was inside of a cave in Iceland, and it did get wet, but I did not feel it. So the outside did get kind of wet. I think it soaked in some of that water, but I didn't feel the wetness at all. It didn't just be, it was beating off originally, but I think it was just so wet in that environment that eventually it started soaking it in. And obviously this is not meant to be worn in, downpour waterfall kind of water, but it was very useful. I stayed very warm and dry in this in Iceland. As you can see, it has a zipper closure, it has a hood, it's got like pockets, one pocket on each side, and a belt. And you just put it on with the zipper down the front, and the inside, let me show you the inside. The inside is somewhat padded. You see, it's a little bit insulated. It's not super insulated. It has a little netted pocket here and another zipper pocket here. Let's talk about pants. Ski and snowboard pants. So I have the 3 different types of pants that you can buy for skiing or snowboarding. Let's start with the thinnest layer. This is what is known as a shell. These are not insulated. It is really just the outside layer. It's very, very thin. I don't know if you can tell. It's kind of crunchy, but the inside is just like I don't know what it's called. The inside is just, this nylon-ish lining, but it is a waterproof shell. These are from Oakley, and I've had these for 20 years, and they are still so good. They are still waterproof. I haven't worn them in a long time. These are actually my husband's, but he never snowboarded or skied, so I just wore them. The only thing that's ripped up is the ends because I ripped them up because they're too long for me. I also did break off some tabs, but you'll see that these are really, really good. You can tell the waterproofing because it's so crunchy. Like, listen to that. It's very, very crunchy. There's a bunch of pockets. I don't think they make these pants anymore, but this is what a shell would look like. I used to wear this with a base layer, a pair of sweatpants, and this over it because no insulation. Next, I have a pair of ski pants. These are 10K waterproofing, and they are meant for skiing for that exact reason. If you look at the fabric, it's very similar to the ski suit. It's like a very stretchy or kind of stretchy neoprene fabric. These are very, very fitted. I can maybe put one layer underneath of here, but they are lined with this fleece material, so they are a little bit warmer than just the shell. But again, these are meant for skiing, so they're really fitted. They're not really meant for you to sit in the snow like a snowboarder. So that's why I don't actually wear these snowboarding. If you're a skier, these will be great for you, but I don't actually wear these snowboarding. I tend to wear these just to walk around in the snow or in cold places. Like I was in Utah last year. I bought that specifically to go to après skis because it was going to be cold or going to be outside. I wanted something warm, and these are warm and beautiful. Really, really cute. I think with the flare leg went with my outfit, so that's what I use them for. But for actual snowboarding, I would never wear these. And then next, we have the fully insulated pants. These are, I think, 10 or I think these are 15K waterproofing. I don't remember the exact number, but these are Columbia pants, and I've found Columbia has really, really good ski snowboard items at a really decent price. I've worn these for the past like 5 or 6 years, and I've never gotten wet. So they are waterproof mostly, and they are insulated. So if you look on the inside, they have the fleece lining. I actually really love these pants. If you're just starting and you're new, you don't have a ton of budget to spend on clothes, I would get Columbia. They're really good. They are really good value for what you're getting. So yeah, these pants are, older, but they still work just fine. They are still waterproof. Now we are at jackets. Again, the jackets I have are mostly from Columbia, except for that one from Oakley from 20 years ago that I bought. That was my very first snowboard. It's my second snowboarding jacket, and the first one that was actually waterproof, because my one previous to that was not waterproof, and I always got very, very wet. But the jacket I have from Columbia is actually a 3 or 2 layer jacket. So it has the outside layer, which is considered the shell. And then it has this removable layer, which zips up to this outside layer, and you can wear it together or apart. I tend to take it out and wear it apart. But you could also just wear the shell with a sweatshirt underneath. It has lots of pockets. This also, I think, has like 15K waterproofing. Again, you can tell by the crunchiness of the fabric. Basically, the crunchier the fabric, the more waterproof it usually is. And it's got pockets. I think it also has vents. Yes. This one has the vents up the side. You'll see a lot of jackets will have vents, because if you start sweating a lot, you don't want to hold that heat in. You can just open a vent and kind of like let that heat escape. It has a nice high collar. It also has a hood, but the hood on this one doesn't fit over my helmet, so I just took it off. Overall, the jackets from Columbia I find to be a very, very good value. And if you're a beginner and just getting into skiing, snowboarding, and you want something that's affordable, Columbia is a great way to go. I did buy a snowboard jacket from Amazon for my husband, and it was very strangely shaped, and I didn't like it, so I never bought another ski jacket from Amazon again. But it was supposed to be waterproof. I guess it is. He wore it, but the sleeves are too short. It didn't have like the snow skirt like this one does. It just didn't have a lot of the features that a normal ski snowboard jacket has, like the pockets on the outside and the pockets on the inside to keep your phones, your goggles, your whatever, all your stuff. Now let's talk about goggles. You need goggles. They are not optional. I will cry down the mountain when I'm not wearing my goggles. It's going to be hard to see, and yeah, just get some goggles. I get mine from Amazon now. I used to be an Oakley girl. I had like 2 or 3 pairs of Oakley goggles, but because of age, some of them have broken. And actually, one I fell and it's scratched the front, so I don't wear those anymore. Back then, we did not have Amazon that made these goggles that are really good. I mean, I wore these last season. I did not have a problem with them, and they're also super cute. Like, look at this. And of course, this goes out without saying, I didn't show it, but you definitely need a helmet. If you don't want to buy a helmet, or if you're traveling, you don't want to carry it with you, you can always rent a helmet. The first time I wore a helmet, I rented one when I was out west in Tahoe or something. It's like $20, I think, to rent a helmet. 100% recommend you get a helmet, especially if you are new. I fell so hard one time when I was just starting out that I saw stars. I thought that was only in cartoons, but I actually saw stars. So definitely get a helmet. If you want to see what it's like to live in the Mid-Atlantic area, check out this vlog on Washington, D.C. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the items I showed down below in the comments, or if you want to see an actual vlog of me snowboarding. And if you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye!